don't mean me, Lord. Isn't that interesting? That every single one of them knew who they were and thought, could it be me? I mean, I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. But Jesus said, the one who's dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man will go just as it's written about him. But woe to that man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born. Then Judas, the one who would betray him, said, surely you don't mean me, Rabbi. He said, you've said so. Now go on. Do what you came to do. You can go. And they kept partying, enjoying themselves, celebrating all that Jesus was doing. And then he said, hey, by the way, tonight, all of you will desert me. Every single one of you will turn your back on me. For the scripture says God will strike the shepherd and the sheep will be scattered. He said, but after I've been raised from the dead, I'll go ahead of you into Galilee and I'll meet you there. And Peter said, even if everyone deserts you, I will never desert you. Jesus replied, I'll tell you the truth, Peter. This very night, before the rooster crows, you will deny 3 times that you even know me. He said, no, even if I have to die with you, I will never deny you. Would never do that. And then I want you to point out, I want you to note that in verse 35, it says, and all the other disciples vowed the same. I'll never desert you. I wouldn't do that. But some of you, the pressure will be too much. And they'll say, do you know me? No. You'll turn your back. You'll deny. Well, it's a simple thing. You're somewhere doing stuff, hanging out. You're at work. You're at school. You're wherever, doing those kind of things. And somebody will say, hey, aren't you one of those people? And you'll say, no. No, not me. I don't know. Even Peter, even the boldest, the bravest, the baddest of them all, I'll never do it. But he did. He did. You can go. They did leave their singing. They left their singing. They went down to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray. And he prayed this tremendous prayer. He was so torn. He said, Father, could this cup pass from me? But not my will, but yours be done. But he said in that passage, it tells us that he was sorrowful and troubled. I mean, when do you need someone more than when you're sorrowful and troubled? So he said in verse 38, my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. Just be with me. That's all I'm asking, is that you be with me. And he went and prayed. But you know what happened? He came back, and what happened? They were sleeping. Just go. She's sleeping. He said, can't you stay awake? Nope. Can't stay awake. Can't even make it an hour. We say we'll die for him. We can't even stay awake and sit with him. Can't be there with him in his difficult time. You know what he said? He says, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. It's weak. You want to. You want to follow the Lord. You all just ate the bread. You drank the juice. We think about his sacrifice for us. We drink it and eat it because we pledge to follow him. But we can't stay awake. We're too distracted. We're not focused. Just go. We're so busy. Our priorities are so easily strayed. The disappointments of this world, they're just too much. Our priorities, they get so out of whack. And the fact of the matter is, Easter's only 3 days away. But you can't even make it through. The soldiers came to the garden. They came up and Judas kissed him on the cheek, and one of them drew a sword and tried to fight. Jesus said, no, we're not doing that. And they arrested him. And it says at the end of that passage in verse 56, at that point, all the disciples deserted him and fled. They were too scared. So they took off. All of them. So here's the reality. We celebrate. But we can't make it till Sunday. You see, the reason he died is because we can't make it till Sunday. You and I sit here and we take communion, but we will sin before Sunday. Every single one of us. We can't make it. We can't do it. We're too weak. We're too distracted. We're too scared. We're too sinful. That's why he had to die. And he knew that night that every single one of the people closest to him would desert him. Just a few hours after sitting down for dinner, reclining at the table, they're running away. And so will you. So will I. So we celebrated the first half of this service. But we're not going to leave that way. Because we need to leave with the understanding why he died. So that when we come back on Sunday to celebrate the resurrection, we understand that he rose to conquer every weakness we have. Every sin that we have. And he reached back out to every one of these people. Only one didn't get to receive that because he gave up too early, didn't he? But every one of us can celebrate on Sunday. So we're going to leave the service a little different tonight. I'm going to ask you after this song we sing to leave a little quietly. seriously. We leave as people who can celebrate on Sunday, but not tonight. Tonight, we see our sin and the reason he died. We open this service with a song. Might have been new to you. We're going to close with the same song. This time, sing the words truly and realize what you're saying. Sing them strongly with all your heart. And when we're finished singing,